Welcome back to the Live and Amplified Livecast. We are here at CMA Fest Day 2. It's 10:15 in the morning. My brain's not quite working yet, but we got Alyssia Dominguez. How's it going today?
It's going great. I'm having a blast. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Day 3 in Nashville, which this is probably the longest I've ever stayed in Nashville.
Really?
So, yeah. Every time I come to Nashville, it's only for like 2 days.
See, and you're working the whole time.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Right? I'm trying to go out and have fun, but it's like when I'm here to work, it's like I'd rather take a nap because those,
I get it.
Yeah. So, but then again, I'm asleep by 10 o'clock, and I was up at 5 this morning. I was just like, okay, I'm ready to go. Like,
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I don't have to be anywhere for like 4.5 hours. What do I do?
Go back to sleep.
Right. But excited to finally meet you in person. We had you on the podcast. Was it January?
I think so.
Yeah, because it was right around the release of Adios Cowboy. Or is it Adios?
Adios.
I was like sitting there, I'm like, you sound like a stupid Midwesterner.
No.
So,
It's all good.
But glad to have you on. You released your EP, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's an EP, and it sounds amazing.
Thank you.
I'm loving everything that you're putting out, and you're doing really good out there. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's a 4-track EP, so it's called Chasing the Wild, and I've been so excited to just like see people loving the songs, and now I'm starting to notice just a little bit, like at shows, people singing the words back to me, which I think is so cool because I've never really had that.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so then you mentioned before we jumped on air that you came in from Wisconsin.
Yes.
Did you fly in from Milwaukee, or did you have to go down to Chicago?
Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like right in the middle between the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, going into Chicago, that might be a little rough. But
yeah, no. I had like a full week of shows in Wisconsin, so then, there was only one early flight, so.
Fair enough.
Got here early, real early.
So you're running on about 2 hours of sleep.
Yes, 2 hours. But you know what? I'm running on adrenaline today. It'll be good.
Awesome,
it's all good.
Awesome.
And coffee.
So what's your schedule looking like for CMA Fest?
So I just have the one show today at the Spotlight stage with Color Me Country, which is going to be so much fun because I'll be sharing the stage with 3 other artists. And I haven't heard of them before, but like I always go like on Instagram just to check out their stuff, and they're super talented. So I can't wait for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's one thing I like about CMA Fest is it's kind of a mix of that first day of high school, but also kind of like a family reunion.
Yes.
Like I was sitting there last night laying in bed. I'm like trying to figure out what this experience feels like because it's nothing that I've ever felt before. But it's like this morning I was like, oh, it's a family reunion, but like the first day of high school.
Right. That's so true. I was like in the green room, just waiting to like, do our interview, and I knew some people, and but it's just funny because you walk in there and you're like, oh, but I also don't really know anybody, so I'm like standing in the corner eating an apple just like a loser.
You're sitting there because you know them from Instagram, but you don't you've never met them in person. And it's like I've had that happen a few times, and it's like, okay, break out of your little your little insecure self or whatever it is, and go over there and say, hey, we've talked on Instagram a couple times.
Exactly. I know. I was like, let me finish my apple, and then I'll talk to people.
Fair. Very fair. So how have things been going? You've got the new EP out now, and it's doing really well from everything I've seen. Where are you kind of at creatively right now? Are you looking at the next project, or are you going to kind of let this EP do its thing?
Well, I think I'm going to let it hang out for a little while. I have a bunch of songs that I've still wanted to record. So the EP are like some of my favorite songs, but I really wanted to have more. Yeah. But, the budget only allows for so much. Sorry. But I have more songs that I want to record, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to go about that for this year. Maybe a single or two in the fall. And then I would love to do a full CD if that's possible.
That's cool.
If I can make that happen.
Yeah. I've definitely seen a lot of people do like they'll split their albums up into like 2 EPs for similar situations because they just can't afford, but it's obviously so expensive to like record music and whatnot. So they'll split it up into 2 EPs, and then they'll release a full-length album with maybe 2 or 3 extra songs on it. So instead of like releasing a third EP, it'll just be the full album.
Right.
And so you have 12 tracks or whatever it is. So.
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool strategy, and it's a good workaround to kind of keep everything fresh.
For sure, and that's the beauty of being an independent artist. I can just kind of like figure it out as I go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you said you had a shows all week up in Wisconsin. How have those been going?
Good. The summer is starting to get crazy packed, so I'm just going to be doing a lot of shows everywhere. So I've just been doing like little bars or like restaurants, and then the festivals happen, and then I'm actually making my way to Arkansas this year too, which should be fun. So I'm just excited. It's just a lot of shows going on, and I love meeting everybody, so it's a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Be careful. In Arkansas, it always seems to rain every time I go through.
Really? Yeah. Oh, no. I hope not, because it's an outdoor festival thing.
Every time I go through, but it's always northern Arkansas.
Okay.
So
I think this is sort of northern. It's Batesville. Do you know where that is? It's like 3 hours north of Little Rock.
You're probably in more like central Arkansas then.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
See, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. Wait, no, 3 hours north of Arkansas?
I thought when I saw it on the map, but maybe not.
No,
I don't know.
3 hours. You're probably in like north Arkansas then.
See, I think so.
No, yeah, you're right, because I drive through Little Rock to get here, and so you're in like north Arkansas.
Okay.
Right? Okay, so that'll be interesting.
I think, yeah.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait a minute, how did I get here? I drove down 30.
Yeah, wait, what?
I stopped paying attention. Like,
I know.
It's like, take 30, get on 35, jump up to 40, and it's like, okay, I don't pay attention.
Right.
I felt so stupid. I was at the gas station, and it was like 4 a.m, and I just asked the clerk, I was like, hey man, do you know where the hell I am? And he's like, you're in such and such a town. And I'm like, that's in Arkansas, right? And he's like, yeah. Okay, cool. As long as I know I'm in Arkansas.
That's hilarious.
But when you're on the road so much, it's just like, you kind of tune out certain things.
Oh, I know. And even just like being a musician, I'm like, what's today? Like what just happened yesterday? I don't know. It's so much going on.
Oh, yeah. I thought the other day, it was April. I was sitting here, I'm like,
oh my God,
man, it's so hot for April. And I was like, nope, it's June. Definitely June. Jeez.
Definitely summer.
Definitely summer. That explains it. What am I doing? So, what have you been doing recently outside of music?
Oh, I don't really know if I do anything outside of music. No, I know some people have asked me that. They're like, what are your hobbies outside of music? And I'm like, crickets. I don't know. My husband is like very much into outdoors and exercise. So we'll like go to like around the lake or like hang out or whatever, but that's about it.
Fair. It's one of those things where it's just kind of like going outdoors, being a musician, being on the road and like dealing with like all this high frequency stuff. Sometimes just going outside and sitting is the best thing.
Yes.
I find myself doing that all the time, especially after this weekend, Sunday when I get home, I'm going to go sit out on the back porch and just hope I don't get heat stroke.
Right. But same. Sunday, I have nothing going on, and I'm like, I'm going to decompress that day because I'm going to need it.
Right. So when you're heading back home tomorrow then?
Yes. So I have another show in Wisconsin when I get back tomorrow.
Gotcha. So it's a quick trip for you.
Yes.
That's cool. So if anybody wants to check out your music, any of that fun stuff, where's the best place to find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on all the streaming platforms. I have my EP out and then a bunch of singles as well. And then you can find my website, Alyssia Music, ALYSSIA, music.com. And that has like all my schedule, my full schedule of where I'll be. And
Awesome.
On Instagram, Facebook, all the things.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad we finally got to meet in person. Are you going to try and catch any shows before you head out of town tomorrow?
Oh yeah, I'm going to be out all day.
Fair.
It'll be an all day thing.
Well, hopefully you're after your set. What time's yours set at?
So my set's at 1.
Okay.
I actually have like some friends that are playing different stages too, so I'm just going to be making my way everywhere.
Gotcha. That sounds fun. Hopefully I'll catch a show or two, but
I get it. Yeah, you're working.
Yeah. But appreciate you. Thank you so much. And we will catch you all later.
Cool. Thank you.